Hey, what's up guys, Rado here with Dirt and Iron. Today we got something for big boys. Honestly, I'm a little bit scared to ride this thing. This is the fastest bike, the most powerful bike I ever had in my garage. Fresh built, it has maybe 20 minutes on. It was just broke in. I think Jay broke it in, and then I'll be the one testing it for the first time. And I have a lot of respect for this bike. It's around 60 horses, 450, super powerful stock, but there was a lot done to this bike, so it's not stock anymore, and it should be fun to ride it. So let's talk a little bit what was done to this bike and all the details. This used to be a motocross bike. This is 450R, but the guy who bought the bike, he actually wanted to buy RX. You don't really see a lot of RX for sale. This is 18 model. You don't really see a lot of them. There is way more for sale, just the motocross bike, so it's easier to buy motocross and then play with it, I guess. So he bought a motocross bike for a really good deal, 2018 model, and then gave it over to Jay, and Jay did his magic. You can see a lot of Jay Clark signature on this bike, and I think it will ride really sweet. So what he did, first he took the engine, there was 25 hours on the engine, it was stuck 25 hours, and since Jay works for Vertex, he just threw in the fresh high compression piston from Vertex. It just gives a little more pop, a little more power, like this bike needed more power, right? So he did that, then of course full FMF system, and this bike actually comes with double exhaust, but FMF does this conversion where you can just have a single exhaust, and that's what we have here with the spark arrestor, so we are legal for the forest. And then also Hinson did a clutch and this cool looking cover. So after that was done, Twisted Development did their magic, and they did both ECUs, first Stag and then Vortex, but Vortex ECU is an extra $600 that you don't have to have on the 450, because there is a plenty power of 450. You don't really have to go with Vortex. On the smaller engines, 250, and that kind of category, 270, yeah, Vortex really wakes everything up. But for 450, you are plenty with the stack. So there is a stack ECU on this bike with a custom maps from Twisted Development that they ran it on the dyno and just knew what works the best for these bikes. So we have three different maps: stack, and then we got something a little mild, and then we got something a little wild, which is pumping somewhere around 60 horses, and guys, that's way more than I can ever use on the trails. So it should be fun to ride this bike. If you are on the desert, or if you go on the fast trails, if you do racing and you're really good, like, you can handle this kind of power. But for myself, I think it will be a little too much. But anyway, we can test it and we can have some fun, right? Actually, the guy who owns this bike, he's 220 pounds, and I guess he's a pretty good rider, so he can use this power. Since he's a little bit heavier, we need to do also some work to suspension, so Racetech did that, revalve, new resprung, and set it for the trail riding, for something a little bit faster. It should still work pretty good on your track, because the RX bike, it's kind of the hybrid. You can do trails and you can do track, you can take some jumps. So that was done to a bike. And of course, you need to have some kind of protection when you are on the trails. So we got a lot of works connection pieces, like the skid plate, this kind of connection. We also got the braces for the radiator, and then TM Design Work did the protection for the caliper and for the rotor. Works Connection also did a nice looking pieces that just make this bike look a little bit better. This little blink for for the brake caliper here and there, and it just looks a little bit nicer. And also the perch for the clutch, so you have a little bit better pull on it. Then we got a kickstand. You gotta have a kickstand on a trail bike, right? So this is from Pro Motobile at Fastway. Tusk rear and front wheels with the new rotors, and also, Jay is a Dunlop guy, so we put Dunlop tires on this bike, 80/81 front and rear, since this is a off-road bike, and also we got 18-inch in the rear, just to make it feel a little bit better on those trails and get a little more meat on the tire. Handguards from Enduro Engineering, they look pretty good. They fit overall theme, black and red. I really like how they look. There is a new set of graphics and the plastics from UFO Graphics from DeCal Works. And to top everything off, really nice seat cover from Motoseat, black and red. It's really grippy. And a trail ready big tank from IMS that I think looks pretty cool. I like the shape. It's not too bulky, it doesn't look, you know, too awkward like sometimes, you know, you have these really tall tanks that kind of look weird, but this one doesn't bother me at all. It looks pretty cool actually. All right, I think that's about it. You know, I'm missing something for sure, so I'll put it below in the description. You can see all the little bits and pieces that was used for this bike. You know, Supersprox, front, rear, and the chain, you know, for the sprocket. So this bike is ready to go, and I cannot wait to jump on it, you know, put my helmet on and go for some ride, because I never ridden anything this fast. This thing is a rocket. Alright guys, we are done. Man, where to start? Let me just first say that this will always be too much bike for me. No matter where, you know, trails, track, no matter where, I think it always will be too much power. But you know, at the same time, this power is so addictive. You just want to go on the gas every single time. Like when you go from the turn and you hit the gas and it's just, you know, roosting out of the turn. It is so addictive. It's like a drug. It's really something that it's easy to get used to, but then it's easy to get little false confidence, I think. So I think for myself, I'll stick to something a little bit smaller. This thing is a beast. It just, the track, you know, actually I think I was a little bit slower on this bike on the track just because I had a lot of respect for this thing. I didn't really hit it as hard as I would hit a 250 or 270 or maybe even 350. This just has a lot of power, and it's great. So definitely a bike for guys who are way better than me, and they really know what they are doing. And on the trails, I mean, with all the mods, the suspension, this was done for 220 pounds guys, so it's a little bit stiffer, but it still felt really great for me. I love what Racetech is doing. It's really nice and plush when hitting those bumps, bagging those trails here at Kauai. It was so nice. I mean, I could go a little bit faster, and I could trust the bike that it wouldn't do anything funny, it wouldn't jump, you know, do anything funky, nothing like that. So on the trails, it felt good, like faster trails, desert, stuff like that. You go to Baja or somewhere, this bike will shine over there. Then, you know, going into something a little bit slower, like a first, second gear single track, when you have to clutch quite a bit, this clutch is not easy to pull. It's not a hydraulic. It has quite hard pull. You need to know how to ride it. You need to clutch it quite a bit, and just be on it always. You know, like it's a little different. Like I'm used to riding my 300 KT engine on 2-stroke, and that thing never dies. It just tractors up everything. But yeah, great experience. Great experience. You know, I know where I am at. This is not a bike for me, but it was a really great experience. You know, I'm happy I could ride this bike and, you know, see like how these 450s, built 450s, how they behave, how they ride, and it's a great machine for really somebody who can twist the throttle and be still in the control. Alright guys, I think that's about it for today. I had a lot of fun. I had this bike for like a week. You know, I was riding it on many different terrains, and I got to know it, and yeah, same conclusion, you know. Too much bike for me, but this bike is amazing. You know, all the mods that has been done to the bike, just it's really a good trail bike. Like if you race and you're good, and you're gonna be really fast on something like this. Alright guys, I think that's about it for today. Don't forget, whatever you do, stay motivated. See you guys later.